Welcome to the Sunset Archon channel, where we aspire to gain from night to first light. And this is not a gaming stream. Instead, we're going to be talking about the recent pushes for online ID verification. But before that, I will be going over the timers on this stream. We have an estimated 27 days until Genshin Impact version 6.0, 51 days until Digimon Story Time Stranger, 64 days until the release of Pokemon Legend Z to A, and 78 days until Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake. Still nothing on Kirby Air Riders or Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but the moment that I do get information on that, I will be updating these timers. Now, the reason why I went over these, even though this isn't a gaming stream, is because this is the first time I am actually doing a stream that has nothing to do with gaming. So, rather than starting out with a whole new OBS scene from the beginning and giving YouTube any excuse to say, oh wait, this isn't Sunset Archon, they've been hacked, and shutting down my channel and my account, I am just going over what I usually do at the start of all my streams with the scene that I normally start with, which is the stream will begin shortly. So yeah, and it usually just has these recurring timer cards, but what I'm really proud of is this little coin I've made using Blender. Anyway, I just have a bunch of unique elements in this scene that is not easy to reproduce unless you know exactly how the sauce was made. So, YouTube, yes, this is Sunset Archon. No, I have not been hacked. I am literally here to talk about online ID verification. Now then, with that hoop jumped through, let us actually move on. And rather than having this on, I'm just gonna switch over to sound only. Again, this is a work in progress. If I do more streams like this, I will make something a bit fancier, maybe add some actual effects for the audio. But this will do for all intents and purposes. So, in the last few weeks, there has been more of a push for online ID verification, specifically under in an attempt to protect children, or at least that's the line they're going with. And it just so happens that tomorrow is going to be the day when YouTube starts pushing ID verification. Well, more specifically, they're going to be using an AI model to assess whether you are 18 or older based on your viewing habits. So apparently if you are watching content on YouTube that is made for kids, that will be used against you in evaluating whether you are a child or 18 or older. And I know that there are certain shows that were made for kids that do actually have an adult audience. Like things like Beyblade, Bakugan in some circles, but that is very niche at this point. After the first 2 or 3 seasons, but I digress. Anyway, the point is they are trying to infer users' ages without reading, the age that you put in to your account when you created it. And that can't be changed easily. So, yeah, that is That is messed up on a number of levels, and if you're just going to ignore that anyway, why have it at all? But when I set this stream up, I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about regarding that. And I have been watching a lot of videos from this channel called Deep Humor. They've been going over the YouTube side of the ID verification and age verification situation for the last few weeks. Also worried that they are about to be obliterated off the platform at any moment. But at the same time, if I'm going down, you're going down with me with YouTube. As much as they possibly can. So they have actually been going over the age verification thing and how it will affect your account on YouTube. And one of the things is that it can actually restrict some of the advanced features, like live streaming, embedding, pinning comments for whatever reason. And the only way to, if you actually get dinged by this stupid age verification system, and you actually are over 18, the only way that they list that you can prove that you are over the age of 18 is for them to use another AI model to do facial recognition via a video where you actually have to sit in front of your camera and move your head from side to side, all that jazz, to actually get a good visual model of your face for them to analyze whether you have the face of someone 18 or older, which also has its downsides for those of you who just have a natural born baby face until you're like 29. Yeah, that actually happens. But that's one option. And the other is actually giving them a valid government ID, which Deep Humor does not recommend, and neither do I. Now, the real kicker is that from all the information that has been provided, that YouTube will only be holding on to this information for 2 months while they verify that you are 18 or older. You can either do either of these two or build sufficient channel history. Now, sufficient channel history, that is unbelievably vague. Because apparently one YouTuber that actually gets paid by YouTube to make content got hit with this exact wording in an email restricting his YouTube account, saying that he did not have sufficient channel history. And he doesn't even go over, as far as I know, he doesn't go over 4Kids stuff. But apparently that is not enough sufficient channel history for the AI to confirm that they are 18 or older. Oh, not to mention that this YouTuber actually uses their actual face on camera in a lot of their content. So yeah, so then they're put into jump through those hoops. I think they chose the face verification to get this sorted out as well. From all angles, the facial recognition option is likely the least invasive of the options, but still invasive all the same. And the way YouTube defines sufficient channel history is extremely ambiguous. Yeah. As I mentioned, they would hold on to this information for 2 months, but at the same time, some screenshots of emails are showing up saying that they'll hold the information for up to 2 years. And I just wanted to show off this because I actually got one of these emails back in 2023. Hello, Sunset Archon. To keep our community safe, we limit some of our more powerful features to channels who have built and maintained a positive channel history, or who have provided verification. As of now, your channel doesn't have sufficient channel history. It has lost access to advanced features. This may have happened because your channel did not follow our community guidelines. How this impacts your channel. You won't be able to do things like get higher daily limits for live streams, shorts, and video uploads, embed live streams, pin comments, and add external links to your video descriptions. So yeah, at that time I was actually pinning comments, so once this hit, every pinned comment got wiped retroactively. How to restore access to your advanced features. To restore access, you can build positive channel history by following our community guidelines, or provide a video or ID verification for quicker access. This may not be available for all channels. Thanks, YouTube team. So, as I mentioned, video verification is the least invasive way to go. So I decided to go with that. And this was... Actually, let me pull up the email again just to make sure of something. Yes, this was just a few months after I had got myself a new PC to completely dedicate to streaming. Before I was just doing it on a laptop and it was just about to burn a hole through my CPU. But a few months after that, after getting this new PC, setting it up the way I want to, and streaming a bit more, then I get hit with this saying I do not have sufficient channel history, even though I have been streaming since 2022. So I did that, did the video verification, took about less than 24 hours, and then I was back in action. Now, here's the second email I got about a year later. From Google. Your video gives you access to advanced YouTube features. You completed video verification a year ago to get access to advanced YouTube features. Your video verification will be automatically deleted after you've built sufficient channel history, which can take up to one more year, or if you don't use advanced features within the next 12 months. So essentially that video will only be deleted if I build up more channel history over a year, or if I just quit uploading altogether for a year. Two extreme ends of the spectrum. But this also lines up with the screenshots Deep Humor was seeing about it being a 2-month span where they'll hold on to these videos and quite possibly your ID. Now, you can delete your video verification at any time in your Google account. However, if you delete your video, you won't be able to use advanced YouTube features. You'll need to build your YouTube channel history or try ID or video verification again to get access to these features. Now, one thing that I think Deep Humor got wrong is his last few videos detailing on what that you can do to avoid being marked for kids, being marked as a child account rather than 18 or older. He's been recommending avoiding content that is made for kids and going for content with lots of profanity. Now, on paper, that may seem like a good idea, but as it states here, your video verification will automatically be deleted after you've built sufficient channel history, which can take up to 1 more year. So I got this email, and I got the first email and set up video verification in 2023, got this next email in 2024. And it's saying I need 1 more year of channel history. So apparently it's taking channel history of up to 2 years. So if you have been watching 4Kids content for most of the last 2 years, watching mature only content over the course of 1 or 2 weeks isn't going to make much of a dent in the channel history in the grand scheme of things. But at the same time, I'm not sure if YouTube's age verification based on watch history is even taking every single video into account, considering how it can't even tell how a YouTuber actually using their actual face recorded into a video or a stream, how they cannot tell that is a grown man with any certainty. Now, this actually brings up another point. The verification or the analytics behind determining whether your channel history puts you in the kids section or the 18 plus section. And how YouTube's last few decisions weren't made to help users, but to facilitate this kind of evaluation. Case 1, the way that they are changing how views are counted. If you are an engaged viewer, engaged as in liking, subscribing, actually leaving a comment, it's not just watching a video from start to end or even just a small blip. No, you have to be engaged. And I feel like that new metric is also playing a factor, or will play a factor, in the ongoing verification after tomorrow. Second, the profanity clause of the terms of service. In the last year or so, there have been issues with the use of profanity in the first 30 or so seconds of a video or stream. And doing so would get you demonetized. Now, with YouTube's latest announcement, those rules are not gone, but they have been loosened. So you can't just curse up a storm because you can, but it's not going to ding you for 1 word at the start. Now, like I said, I had a lot of thoughts while I was trying to decide if I wanted to do this stream. But one thing about that stood out for me. That there is no way that they would actually loosen such a rule if it did not benefit them somehow in the long run. So I think that they loosened that rule just so they could have a more definitive definition of that end of the spectrum. So if you're cursing up a storm, and, well, maybe not cursing up a storm, just have some profanity in your video, those can be used as flags to flag you as a form of 18 plus content. Not 18 plus outright, but a form, just to ensure that kids don't see that. Because another thing, I'm going to be referencing Deep Humor's stuff a lot, but he actually did some experiments with restricted mode in YouTube and found that a lot of his recent videos regarding YouTube's upcoming age verification have been removed from restricted mode. He thinks it's possibly because of profanity. That might be the case. Not because of the profanity itself, but because it's being used as a flag. The profanity itself is being used as a flag to determine whether it should be shown in a restricted mode state of the app or browser, or if it should actually be shown. If it should be shown or if it should be hidden. So, a lot of the features or improvements, quote unquote, that have been added in the last 2 or so months, or teased, they all seem to have a part. They seem to play a part in this age verification system that rolls out. So my advice, if it comes to it, if there is no way for you to avoid this and you actually do make money off of YouTube, or you watch YouTube for your job, because yes, that is a legitimate job, watching YouTube videos without, working for YouTube, then I would recommend just the video verification. Because it is a video of your face, but at the very least it doesn't have your name, height, weight, age, date of birth, place of residence, all of that important stuff all wrapped up with it. Yes, there is still the risk of it getting leaked or hacked out somewhere, but at the very least, all of your other personally identifiable information won't be explicitly tied to that video. No, it's just an implicit tie. I say just, but it's still not a good feeling to be stressing over not the ifs of if it'll get hacked, but rather when. And it is a when, because that is the second thing that we're going to be talking about. Not just the video verification, but the ID verification. Because as far as I know, in order to get paid by YouTube, you do have to give banking details and whatnot, obviously, so you can get paid, but I don't think you actually have to give your actual government ID to YouTube. And basically, companies like this are required to provide competent security to keep your purchase information secure. Say, like, if you do pay for YouTube Premium and you actually have a card connected to that for recurring payments every month, no shame to you if you do, it is a viable, well, it was a viable solution for watching YouTube ad-free than a bunch of other stuff, but not going to get into the premium the premium argument right now. My point is, you have agencies and companies, services have an obligation to protect your payment information. And not only do they have an obligation to, they have an incentive to. They have great incentive to protect your payment information to ensure that with that information, only they're being paid and not some hacker that just so happened to find a backdoor in their system. That is just a basic example. Now then, here is a question. With this age verification system that is born of compliance to changing laws rather than an actual desire to do so, is the protection of things like your ID. After they verified it and decide to hold onto it for 2 months to 2 years, is the incentive to protect your ID or video verification details on the same level as that of the payment details that a website, company, or service stores. You have the payment information, which the company gets paid with, or the age verification details with your ID and your video stuff, which is just taking up space on a server, not making them any money. Honestly, given the lack of value in actually storing that information, and actually storing that information for even 2 years in comparison to the payment information they store for all of their various subscription services, obviously they're going to put out money to better protect the payment information for the subscription services. The reason I bring this up is with more and more websites this month suddenly announcing that they will be working on age and ID verification functions, all of them at once, I do not see them putting the same amount of effort into a security model for that information just to verify that they are 18 or older in comparison to the amount of effort they'll put into protecting your payment information. You got one of two scenarios. You either have thousands of companies and websites making their own little repositories for this information. I'm just going to call them what they are, ID silos. Just to verify you are over 18. And they say they're going to hold on to it for, say, 2 months, 2 years. I'm just using YouTube as the example right now. So you got 1 million YouTubes using that same retention policy. You got your ID across multiple different silos, and not all of which have the best security. So as I said before, it's not a matter of if your information gets leaked, but when, especially when multiple companies are saying, oh, I can do this myself, or whatever company they decide to go with. So you either have your stuff spread to the quantum wind, or worse, you have one monolith trying to collect everything in the stead of other companies. Then you just have either one massive target that has all of your information, the information of millions, or just another company about to go mad with power and selling your information off to whatever info broker will pay and not tell. Yeah. As sad as it is, video with video verification, it's not you not getting screwed. It's just you getting screwed less than if you did ID verification. And at the end of the day, it's still sad. It's still a very, very sad state of affairs. So yeah, I think I have covered everything that I wanted to say in this stream. Thank you so much to everyone who came to watch this stream and those who come to watch the playback later. I really appreciate it. And if you have any concerns that I did not go over in this stream regarding age verification across the world or any other questionable YouTube improvement, quote unquote, be sure to leave a comment down below. And also, leave a comment if you actually want to hear more streams like this. Thinking about branching out a bit, doing more than just gaming, and actually giving my 2 cents on various changes that are likely to occur in the years to come. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.